Well, good afternoon and welcome in. Well, it's not afternoon yet, is it? It's late morning. Welcome in anyway to a Wednesday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. Can you tell I have a big afternoon? I can't wait to get to it. Happy to have you with us. I was thinking this morning as I was putting the show together about something that was said to me a long, well, I'll just leave it there because if I say one more long, then it won't reflect very well on me. But it was a long time ago when a journalism professor of mine, in fact, I think it was my very first journalism professor at Ohio State, said to me and my fellow classmates, one of whom is current Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost, in journalism, we write about the plane that crashes. We don't write about the plane that flies. The upshot of that comment was that in news, we cover things that are out of the ordinary, not typical, the exception rather than the rule. So I'm a little bit torn today as to whether I should lead with the story that I was going to talk about because it involves, very sadly, the death of a 14-year-old girl yesterday about noon. While we were doing this show, 14-year-old Haley Abshire lost her life in a fiery accident on the city's west side, which involved at least one and possibly two cars stolen from West High School. Now, I'm going to presume they're still in school at West High School. My kids are still in school. It's awfully early for kids to be out of high school. I mean, colleges, yes. High school, not so much. We do not know if Haley Abshire was an innocent bystander in a car. She was in the SUV. The other car was a Hyundai Sonata. We all know about the history of Hyundais and Kias in this town and their propensity for being stolen by juveniles. But again, I wasn't sure whether I should lead with this or not. I definitely want to be sensitive to Haley Abshire's family because they are in mourning, as all of us would be, if something, not just something, but the worst thing possible happened to our daughter, that she died. And in this instance, died in a car crash involving a stolen car. We don't know if her car was stolen or not. We know that one of the cars was stolen, and we also know that after the crash, young men were observed running from the scene and scaling a fence and leaving. Now, those young men are still at large. So why would I not talk about this as a lead story? Because as my journalism professor told me a long time ago, we write about the plane that crashes, not about the plane that flies. We write about things that are unusual, that are atypical. And sadly, we're at a point where what happened to Haley Abshire, what happened as a result of a car, maybe two, being stolen from West High School, and teenage boys running from the scene of the accident that claimed an innocent life, has ceased to be news in this town. It is all too typical. It is, this circumstance, the plane that flies. It is all too normal. Far too normal. Doesn't give me any joy to say that. I shouldn't have to say it. It shouldn't be true, but it is true. And it is true not just because we have an array of young people in our town who are poorly parented or who have made poor choices with their life, or both. It is true because the adults in this city who are charged with protecting the rest of us, protecting Haley Abshire from this kind of unnecessary violence and mayhem, because the adults in this town have completely abdicated their responsibility to stop this nonsense. I've brought it up before. I'm going to bring it up again. I don't bring it up as often or as routinely as planes reach their destination safely without crashing, but it is, in my view, inarguable to continue to talk about the abundance of stolen cars in our city, around 10,000 a year, to continue to talk about young people in our city, less than 25 years old, before their brains are fully developed, dying because of their own poor choices or because of the poor conditions which they grow up in that tempt them to make desperate choices. I'm not going to say cause them, because everybody's responsible for their own decisions. And certainly everyone knows right from wrong. It's planted in every heart. God says he plants his truth in every human heart. So I'm not blaming entirely the decisions of these young people on factors outside their own cognitive recognition of what's right and wrong, because they have that and they should conform to that, but they often don't. But I'm sure that Juvenile Court Judge Kim A. Brown is having a good day today. I'm sure that all the other 6 juvenile court judges are having a good day today. And I'm also sure nobody else will bring up to them the letter that they signed in February of 2021 when Columbus police tried to crack down on this kind of stuff. And they were essentially labeled racists for doing it. Remember back then, the police had an operation they wanted to engage in, or they were engaging in, called Operation Game Over, which was to send a message to a select group of teenagers, 40 of them, who had committed an outlandish number of crimes in our city. These 40 juveniles were suspected of 130 purse snatchings. That's more than 3 per juvenile. 130 delinquency charges, 22 robberies, 11 kidnappings, 28 counts of receiving stolen property, 9 aggravated robberies, and one of them was facing an attempted murder charge. A 16-year-old female at the time had 21 pending felony charges. And yet, when Columbus police announced Operation Game Over to crack down on these kids, not to crack down on black kids, not to crack down on any specific ethnicity or anything, even a gender or whatever, but just to crack down on criminals. Try to get a hold of them. They're making bad choices in their life, or they are tempted to, by the desperation in their homes, poverty, whatever, try to fix their issues in ways that are not healthy for them or the people that they're victimizing. When Columbus police tried to get their arms around that, the day after Operation Game Over was announced, Kim A. Brown and the 6 other juvenile court judges signed a letter saying that the police were trying to spread propaganda and fear. Here is the quote from their letter. The juvenile court judges, whose job it is to punish crime committed by young people so that young people don't engage in more crime, worse crime. The principle of sowing and reaping, as outlined by God, holds for all human endeavors. It holds for a farmer in the spring when he's planting his field. You get what you sow, more than you sow, later than you sow it. You plant corn in the spring, you get corn in the fall, later than you sow. You're not get beans in the fall if you plant corn, and you get a lot more than you planted. Well, the same thing works when it comes to crime. If you're engaged in criminal activity and you don't punish criminal activity, you're going to get more of it, and you're going to get more of it as time unfolds. And that is what has happened, and that is why Haley Abshire is dead today. Because Kim A. Brown and other juvenile court judges in this town do not care about juvenile crime. They care about getting re-elected. And they can't risk punishing crime committed by juveniles in this city, because the preponderance of juvenile criminals live in certain areas of the city where these judges are automatically reelected because they have a D next to their name. And so nothing is going to change. But here's what the judges wrote in their letter, calling Operation Game Over propaganda and fear. Our community should be weary of recent demands for the deleterious, oh, look at my education, and unnecessary detention of predominantly African-American youths and others residing in lower income areas of the county. These propaganda efforts smack of the widely debunked super predator myths of the 1990s. And every juvenile, you know who's the architect of that, by the way? Joe Biden. And every juvenile crime statistic available suggests that juvenile justice reforms implemented since that time have been more effective than the tough love approach suggested by less learned stakeholders. Well, then, tell me, Kim A. Brown, tell me, juvenile court judges, why do we keep having a problem with stolen cars in our city? Why do we have, a couple months ago, a 14-year-old boy killed in a stolen car that he was driving? Why do we have 14-year-old Haley Abshire dead today? Because, obviously, you got a better answer, right? You got it all figured out, except you don't.
Cloudy skies, showers and a thunderstorm this afternoon, high 69.
Thanks for joining today. Appreciate it. Timed up the start of the show right as we were coming out of commercial. Glad to have you along. This city used to be such a great city. And it is a disaster area now. And I implore people who live in the inner city here to get out. If you can, get out, move to another area, join a church, find a way to get out. You got to find a way to get out. Because the people who are supposed to serve you, Andrew Ginther, your mayor, Zach Klein, your law director, juvenile court judges, the justice system, Franklin County prosecutor, all of them, they don't care anything about you. They don't care anything about you.
Or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down
so
food,
sad.
But EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had Leaf Filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did. It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hi, I'm Charlie Moon. I've been in the trading game for almost 20 years, and I just discovered the most powerful trading tool I've ever seen. So if you're trading stocks or options, then listen up. This new AI-powered trade finder can find you stocks to consider trading, which have had gains as high as 1,729% and have had nearly perfect win rates. It analyzes the entire stock market in seconds and pumps out a list of trades for you to consider every single morning. And the trades it finds can be potentially profitable regardless of which direction the market is moving. So if you want in on this action, listen closely. For a short amount of time, I'm opening up free access to some of these picks and giving you the chance to get top trade ideas from the AI Trade Finder every day for 100% free. Just text TRADE to 76626. Stop trying to find the right stocks to trade on your own. Just text TRADE to 76626 now and get access to the top trades our AI finds every single day. Text TRADE to 76626. Standard text and data rates may apply. Past performance is not indicative of future results.
Feel like you're trying to push a boulder uphill wearing skates? If you run or manage a local business today, you're challenged like never before. We get it, and we want to help. We're Salem Surround. We're a full-service marketing agency that'll help you increase your customer base by designing incredibly effective plans to reach your consumers day, night, and everywhere they might be.
If you're a local business and want to see what Salem Surround can do for you, Google Salem Surround Columbus. Remember to Google Salem Surround Columbus today.
This is Josh Pick with the Aptus Blueprint Radio Show. The thing that I hear most often in meetings is, what do I do when it seems like stocks and bonds are getting crushed, rates at the bank are abysmal, and inflation is at 40-year highs? Well, you're not alone, and there are better options. Did you know that you can lock in darn near double-digit returns in a positive market while simultaneously accepting zero downside risk? Learn more about ideas like this and many other ways to improve your financial situation by listening to the Aptus Retirement Blueprint Radio Show Friday evenings at 6, Saturday afternoons at noon, or call our office today at 614-917-1040.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
What could you make possible as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Leave behind the gift of life. Go to organdonor.gov. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Hey, I am headed to QC Kinetics in the next week because I want to get eyes on site. I want to see exactly what they do at the clinic here in Central Ohio, where they get you out of pain so that you can resume the normal activities in the summertime that you like to do. Look, I mean, there are a lot of ways you can attack pain. You can ignore it. That's no fun. You can tether yourself to endless doctor's appointments and medications and stuff like that. Some people do. I would say that's a no for me. So I'm going to take advantage of my free consultation at QC Kinetics because I want to know more about what they do so I can give you a better handle on how advanced regenerative medicine works. I don't like surgeries. I don't know about you. I don't like endless prescriptions. QC Kinetics helps your body do what it's designed to do. They take the natural healing platelets out of your blood, concentrate them, re-inject them once your blood has made more, and you get a double dose of healing agents. And very often that takes care of the problem. QC Kinetics, reach them for 380-208-4544, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544, QC Kinetics. Back on the Bruce Hooley Show. Glad to have you along. And you can podcast the show. Jeff takes the commercials out and you get just content. Go to 989theanswer.com, click on shows. You can download the content. You can also follow us on a minute-by-minute basis. If you download the iHeart, TuneIn, or radio.com app and search 989 The Answer, we'd prefer you download our own app. That way you'll have access to Mike Gallagher and to the other great Salem Radio Network hosts. Now, I talked in the open about the very unfortunate accident yesterday. It took the life of 14-year-old Haley Abshire. Sadly, it's not an outlier because these kinds of things happen all the time. Young people in Columbus losing their life. I told you yesterday about an 18-year-old young man who was shot and killed the day before. And now reporters from ABC6 have gone into the neighborhood, Linden, of course. Man, I tell you what, I feel so bad for the people who live in Linden. They are so poorly served by their representatives on city council, all the way up to Joyce Beatty in the Congress. So here's a woman who lives near where the gunfire took place that claimed the life of this 18-year-old young man, Antonio Jones. She says one of the bullets went through their glass door of her home, through a wall in her kitchen. Her 11-year-old nephew was just inches away. So he's very fortunate that he was not a victim of this. Talked to a couple of neighbors. One of them, gentleman, said, now there's another mother grieving her child for no reason. Ralph Carter, founder of We Are Linden, says that the violence in the area near the Ohio State Fairgrounds has become all too common. He says, we've got too many people losing their lives to, he used the term that City Hall would prefer, gun violence. It's not gun violence. The guns aren't violent. It takes a person. A gun is an instrument. It can be used for good. It can be used for evil. It's used for evil. That's a human decision, not a gun decision. But I get it. Mr. Carter is operating in circles where he's surrounded by people who speak in language that's crafted so that the true responsible parties are not culpable for their inaction. Mr. Carter said, I just encourage all residents, all people to grab a hold of these young people and speak positivity into them, get them involved in organizations that can help them. I hope there are organizations that can. I know of one, an evangelical Bible believing church. That'll really help you. That'll really, really help you. That's not the option that a lot of people want to choose. They don't want to oftentimes spread messages that are messages of success rather than messages of failure. In our country, like what's going to be one of the big issues in this upcoming election, right? Oh, we got to preserve abortion rights. Abortion disproportionately impacts the Black community. You can talk about any program you want in the government and how, it's systemically racist and this, that, and the other. There is nothing more systemically racist than abortion in the Black community. And Black people have been sold on the idea that to allow the government to tell them what to do or anyone to tell them what to do regarding a pregnancy is akin to slavery. And so abortion proliferates throughout the Black community. The percentage of abortions undergone by Black mothers is far in excess of the percentage of the population that is Black. 60% of the abortions occur among Black patients, and Black people make up what? 12, 13% of the population. There you go. But the message of things that are raised as common values in suburban areas of town, things like graduate from high school, don't get pregnant, don't let a guy get you pregnant. Get a job and keep a job until you have a better job. Right? Prioritize serving others rather than taking everything you can take for yourself. Those life lessons are not stressed in a lot of areas of our city because we have politicians who stress that you're a victim. You're a victim, you're a victim, you're a victim, you're a victim. Somebody else's fault, it's not your fault. And nothing's going to change. How much money have we spent to end poverty in the United States since the Great Society in the 1960s? What did the Great Society accomplish? It accomplished building a society that eviscerated Black families. Nothing will change. Nothing will change until the people who are the victims of these kinds of policies demand it. And you can only demand it at the ballot box. And you can only demand it once people are elected. Now, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine today is in Dublin. He is signing a bill to reduce student cell phone usage in schools. I'm in favor of the concept. I'm in favor of the practice of limiting student cell phone use in schools. I don't think the government should need to demand it, should need to make a law. The law does not outlaw student cell phone usage. All it does is requires school districts to create a policy to reduce cell phone distractions and limit cell phone use as much as possible during school hours. Now, there are going to be some boards that are going to go, well, it's not possible, so they're not going to even try. So this is a toothless bill, in my opinion. And the reason why I know they're not really serious about this is because the act will take effect on July 1st, 2025. It's really a problem, student cell phone use. Let's put it off until the 25-26 school year instead of the 24-25 school year, which, as far as I know, school boards do not take hiatuses in the summertime. They meet routinely, regularly, have plenty of time to institute a cell phone policy. Doesn't take long to formulate one. Here's a little secret for you. Most school board policy is written by one big organization that school boards pay for that organization writing boilerplate policy. And then you can tweak it, but it's not like somebody has to sit down and figure out, oh, we got to figure out the law. We got to figure out how we're going to craft this policy. It's not how it happens. So this could easily be done now. But why do now what you can put off until tomorrow? That seems to be Mike DeWine's approach to this situation. So I'm in favor of it. But again, this is something that school boards, I think, should see as a danger and do on their own.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street is rallying this morning, getting a boost from the latest inflation report. The government's consumer price index rose 0.3% in April from March, and that was less than feared. Meanwhile, retail sales did not budge last month. They were unchanged from the month of March. President Biden and former President Trump agreeing to hold two campaign debates on June 27th, hosted by CNN, and a debate in September. CNN says its debate would be held at its Atlanta studios and that no audience will be on hand. It is a day off for the Trump trial in New York City. Yesterday, Mr. Trump once again blasted the gag order imposed by the judge. The former president says it is blatantly unconstitutional. And watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 283 points. The NASDAQ ahead 162. More details, srnnews.com.
Biden has started tracking Christians like cattle. Yes, you heard it right. He pressured banks to tag transactions for certain keywords. One of them is Holy Bible. It's a horrifying and creepy attack on our religious freedoms. It's made possible by a digital financial system that makes you a sitting duck. But you do have other options. I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst, a best-selling author, and evangelical leader to people who cherish their financial independence. A precious metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Biden's anti-Christian bureaucracy while also preserving your retirement savings. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text faith to 989898. There are no strings attached. So text faith to the number 989898 right now and take action to protect you.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer, anywhere you go. With The Answer's mobile app at 989theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn, or iHeart. This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-355-4107 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-355-4107. That's 800-355-4107. What do you have to lose? Call 800-355-4107. Again, 800-355-4107.
You'll sleep better knowing you got a great deal on a great mattress because you got it from Mac Mattress Outlet and the Discount Shopping Club. Right now, get a $500 certificate from Mac Mattress Outlet for any mattress purchase for only $250. These certificates go fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. For details, log on to the Discount Shopping Club at 989theanswer.com.
He's the voice of a new generation, willing to fight for what's right in the greatest country ever conceived. He's Charlie Kirk, and you can hear him weekdays from 6 to 7, and again 11 to midnight, on your station for news, opinion, and passion. 98.9 FM, The Answer.
PatriotSwitch.com products are fantastic. You'll love them. Your family will love them. And you might love them too if you recommend them to your friends. And you get the same small commission on other people purchasing items that I get when you sign up with me. You can do so at BruceHooley.com or at PatriotSwitch.com/Bruce. Love to tell you about the 450 products that Patriot Switch makes, all out of plants, all American made as well. Everything they make, they make. A lot of people think, oh, they outsource it to Mexico or China. No. That's Unilever, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson. Those are the big companies that put products on store shelves at Walmart, Target. Why are you shopping there? Really, why? You say, well, I need mouthwash and toothpaste. Okay, so I'm not asking you to buy something you're not already buying. I'm not asking you to lay out an additional $75 a month for stuff you don't need. I'm asking you to spend it at a better vendor that'll ship it right to your house and credit the shipping back to your account the next month. That's healthy for you, healthy for your family, healthy for a fight against American woke capitalism. PatriotSwitch.com/Bruce or BruceHooley.com. I'm not sure who the busiest person at the White House is. Might be the person who has to think up, how are we going to lie our way out of this one? That person's very busy. But I actually think the busiest person at the White House is the person who has to edit into a semi-cogent presentation all of the things that Joe Biden says while they're trying to message and get out to the public what the president wants the public to believe. It took, I think, 6, I've seen reported 5, but I think it's 6 edits in a 14-second video today. 6 edits in a 14-second video. Now, I just did a live read for patriotswitch.com, no script. It was reasonably cogent. I'd probably go back if I edited it. I'd probably take out an or an here or there. I guarantee you I can do a 14-second message without 6 jump cuts in it, but not Joe Biden. And here's the guy who's going to bring the whole country together, challenging Donald Trump to a series of debates. What?
Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Oh, I hear you're free on Wednesdays. That's a shot at Trump for us. He's only free on Wednesdays because, of course, the Biden donor judge won't let Trump out of the New York courtroom to go out on the campaign trail and debate. So let's listen to this again and vet it for accuracy. Always dangerous when you're listening to Joe Biden.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020.
Oh, the Clint Eastwood. Did Donald Trump lose 2 debates to Joe Biden in 2014? First of all, do we have winners and losers in a debate? Now, I think Trump didn't look very good in the one debate not moderated, even though he was there in the role of moderator, by Chris Wallace. But in hindsight, did Joe Biden tell the truth in quote unquote winning his debate against Donald Trump? Here's something I remember from that debate. You tell me, is this true or is this not true?
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about? China. I have not had it. The only guy made money from China is this guy. He's the only one. Nobody else has made money from China.
Nobody else has made money from China. Do we not have court testimony now where, oh, that's right, Hunter Biden said he was making $80,000 a month from CEFC, a Chinese energy company. The only guy who made money, Biden said, was Trump. That's a no. Points off for lies in a debate. But Joe Biden says he won. So they want to debate Trump in June and September. Interesting. June. Like Biden won't even be the nominee in June, nor will Trump be the nominee in June, not officially. And then they want a vice presidential debate in July. Okay, so why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Well, they're doing it very, very obviously because Biden is getting crushed in the swing states, like totally crushed. We read you the polls the other day. 5 of the 6 swing states, the battleground states, however you want to refer to them, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Biden's up in 1. He won all 6. He won all 6 in 2020. Trump's up 12 in Nevada. He's inside the margin of error in Pennsylvania. Everywhere else, he's outside the margin of error, including a 7-point lead in Michigan, a 10-point lead in Georgia, and another 7-point lead in Arizona. So Mark Penn, he's a Democratic strategist. He knows why Joe Biden is debating.
When you're behind, you want to debate. When you're ahead, you want to avoid debates at all costs. So it's pretty obvious that Trump said, hey, I'll debate anytime, and Biden has accepted. I think it's a very shrewd plan. It's far removed from an actual election day, so you can fix it if it goes badly. But it's also before the mail-in votes. I think it's a pretty good plan.
Well, I mean, you don't have a lot of great options if you're Joe Biden, because you've got a problem with people thinking you're old and infirm and a mush brain, which he is. So the only way to prove that is to go out and stand there where, by the way, there will not be an editor who's able to make 6 jump cuts to make Joe Biden sound cogent. That could be a problem for the old boy. Yet there is the possibility that Donald Trump will self-immolate like he did in that Chris Wallace debate. Trump has to let Joe Biden talk. This will be hard for Trump. These two guys hate each other. They don't just dislike each other. They don't just resent each other because the other guy had or has the job that each of them want. They hate each other. I'm Donald Trump. I understand why I hate Joe Biden. I think he cheated or finagled to win the 2020 election. and I look at his presidency, and it's an epic disaster. And I look at the lawfare that's chasing me, forcing me to pay hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe even as much as $1 billion when you count legal fees and the E. Jean Carroll settlement and all the other things, to fight for my freedom when everybody, even Alan Dershowitz, a Democrat, lots of other Democrats have said the lawfare is, the gag order is unconstitutional. If I'm Donald Trump, I fully understand why Donald Trump hates Joe Biden. And Joe Biden is a power-hungry, malignant narcissist. So I fully understand why Joe Biden hates anybody who's a threat to his continued hold on political power. So I get it. But Trump is in the lead here. And Trump needs to let Biden talk. I don't know if Trump is capable of this. But whoever is prepping Trump, first of all, you're going to have to get him to submit to the fact that you need to be prepped for this debate. Here are the lies Joe Biden's going to tell. Here are the lies he has told. You have to find a way to expose these, highlight these in a measured tone. Because, let's face it, if Trump is seen as somebody who is beating up on a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory, that will not go well with Donald Trump. He is already battling the fact that suburban women think he is a bully. And so Trump cannot come at Biden as hard as he is going to want to come at Biden. But he has to highlight things like Biden saying inflation was 9% when I took office. And he's like, Trump has this like tone that is calm and soothing. He also has a tone that is biting and venomous. We need the soothe, calming Donald Trump rather than the venomous Donald Trump. You can just say, Joe Biden has said inflation was 9% when he took office. It wasn't 9%, it was 1.4%. Inflation, by the way, the inflation numbers came out today, 3.4% year over year. Prices are 3.4% higher in April of 2024 than they were in April of 2023. Add that on to whatever they were in April of 2023 and 22 and 21, and you know now that prices are like 20% higher across the board than they were when Donald Trump was president. Stay factual, stay calm, expose Joe Biden's lies. That will work effectively for Donald Trump. Talk about black unemployment, talk about, whatever you want to talk about. Expose this myth that Joe Biden has created X million jobs and that Donald Trump lost X million jobs. You say, well, there's a pandemic and I wanted to reopen the country in April of 2020 and I got criticized for it and talked out of it by Anthony Fauci, Deborah Birx, and others who are supporters of you. I mean, Donald Trump can do this. The question is, will Donald Trump be able to do it? Because if he's angry and he's interrupting, and they say they're going to turn the mics off when it's not a candidate's turn to speak, I actually think that works for Trump. But he can't be shouting, trying to be heard while Biden is telling lies. Give Donald Trump a pen, give him a pad of paper, let him write down all the things Joe Biden says that are wrong, that are lies, expose those when it's your time. And if that happens, Trump wins.
Present a thunderstorm this afternoon, high 69, an evening shower in spots, then clouds tonight, low 56. Turning warmer tomorrow with clouds and sun, the high for Thursday 77. Tomorrow night, low 61. On Friday, some showers and a thunderstorm, then clouds and sun by the afternoon, high 72. And mainly cloudy on Saturday, periods of rain, the high 74. I'm Andy Robb on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Are you under the impression that a metal roof costs 2 or 3 times more than a shingle roof? No, it doesn't. Hi, folks. I'm Dan Tolan, owner of The Metal Roof Company. As your foremost metal roofing authority in Central Ohio, I can promise you it's the most inexpensive roof you'll ever buy because it's the last roof you'll ever buy. With lifetime warranties and a variety of financing options, give us a call at 721-ROOF, 721-ROOF, or reach out to us on the web at themetalroofcompany.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process,
sorry, we're in
Wesley
commercial, my
Financial
bad.
Group to do one thing, help people
Sorry
get
about
out of
that,
the
folks.
timeshare nightmare. When you buy a timeshare, the timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Want out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-656-1155. 800-656-1155. 800-656-1155.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements. Changing the world one life at a time.
This is my father, Bob.
This is my daughter, Lisa.
And we love Balance of Nature. Don't you?
You think I'm going to say no to her? Balance of Nature is a very good product. It's simple application, a simple thing to take.
It's fruits and veggie in a capsule.
That's it. Balance of Nature has helped me get along very well.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code GORKA.
Attention business owners, medical practice owners, and taxpayers with not-so-simple tax returns. If you're not getting timely and useful financial advice throughout the year from your accountant, why not? I'm CPA Brad Hennebert from Premier Tax CPAs, and the true value of using a CPA is getting guidance throughout the year, not just at tax time. During the year, we can actively advise you on your financial, tax planning, and other major business needs, just like an outside CFO. Too often, when you see your accountant only at tax time, we're really only keeping score of what you did last year. At Premier Tax CPAs, we like to have monthly consultations with our business clients because important financial information is only useful if it's timely. See us before April 15th and get a free copy of my latest book, The Ohio Business Owner's Tax Survival Guide. At Premier Tax CPAs, we're a firm that can work with you and your business throughout the year to help you make decisions before it's too late. Give us a call at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Well, last night was a good night of sleep for me. I hope it was for you. Maybe sleep is not your issue. Maybe you have some raggedy towels in your bathroom or in your kitchen. Hey, Mike Lindell can help you with that as well. You know about the MyPillow, of course. Phenomenal product. I love mine. You'll love yours. Giza Dream bed sheets, mattress toppers, mattresses, all those things that help you sleep better. That's a given, right? All part of the MyPillow brand. But you may not know that Mike Lindell also makes fantastic towels. Bath towels, hand towels, dish towels. They are all among the array of items that are on sale at mypillow.com for $25 each. Not $25 off, $25 each. And when you aggregate several products that may need replacing around your home or may augment your night's sleep, then if you total $75 as the final tally on your order, then it will ship to your home for free. Find out more about this $25 off sale at mypillow.com. And always, always for the lowest pricing, use my promo code, Bruce. So Joe Biden's going to debate Donald Trump. He says June, September, let's do it. Trump's all about it. He's willing to do it anywhere. But Trump's got to be restrained. He can't be angry. He can't be venomous. He's got to be patient. He's got to let Biden talk because Joe Biden, A, can't talk. And the more Biden talks, the more he lies. The more he lies, the more fodder it is for Donald Trump to take him on. Now, the one good thing that Trump has in his favor is that the economy's not going to turn around by the time they debate, and that Joe Biden will continue to say things that do not resonate with the American public. Like his interview with Aaron Burnett on CNN. Yeah, people have money to spend. I'm just angry they have to spend it. polls show that more Americans are living paycheck to paycheck than they ever have before. They don't have the money to spend. They don't have the money to spend at all. The great jobs report that Joe Biden will tout, Donald Trump could say, those jobs are part-time jobs and they're going to illegal immigrants and they're government jobs. You're making government bigger. You're making healthcare bigger. You were Mr. Big Pharma during the pandemic. Neither one of those sectors, government or healthcare, creates wealth like manufacturing does. You just slap tariffs on Chinese products, which, wait a minute, I got a tweet around here from 2019. I looked it up last night because I was sure Biden had been critical of Trump's tariffs when he announced them toward China. And sure enough, here's what Joe Biden said on Twitter in 2019. Trump doesn't get the basics. He thinks his tariffs are being paid by China. Any freshman econ student could tell you that the American people are paying his tariffs. The cashiers at Target see what's going on. They know more about economics than Trump. Hashtag Team Joe. Well, it's fitting that Joe Biden would highlight Target because they sell, trans merchandise for kids. No wonder Joe Biden probably shops there. Hopefully you do not. But he was criticizing Trump's tariffs then. Now he's implemented them. But on the border, we can't implement Trump's policies. And in energy policies, we can't implement Trump's policies. We got to cancel them all. So this is the thing that Trump has going for him, is that Biden's not going to do a course correction. He's not going to introduce executive actions to close the border down or anything. There's really very limited things that Biden is willing to do. And Peter Doocy brought this up to Karine Jean-Pierre yesterday. In light of these polls that show Biden trailing badly in swing states, Doocy just asked a very simple question. And her answer tells you everything you need to know about this administration.
Why do you think Americans are so down on President Biden right now?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Why do you think Americans are so down on President Biden right now? And she has no idea what he's talking about. So Doocy tried again. He's relentless.
Have you considered in the White House that some of President Biden's recent policy positions could be a turnoff to the people that used to like him?
So here, I would disagree with you there, because a lot of the policies that the president is pushing forward are incredibly popular.
A lot of the policies that the president is putting forward are incredibly popular. Well, how far do you want to go back? Was the Afghan withdrawal well executed and popular? Joe Biden said it was an extraordinary success. I wonder if the 13 American service personnel murdered at the Abbey Gate at Hamid Karzai Airport think it was an extraordinary success. The polls show that people have hated Joe Biden since then and have not, there's been no bounce back in the polls since, because that's when energy prices started to mount, and that's when the Inflation Reduction Act, which didn't reduce inflation, sent inflation to a 40-year high of 9% in the summer of 22. How far do you want me to go back on policy, Karine Jean-Pierre? It's not just me. You say, well, you're a partisan hack. You hate the Democrats. You hate Joe Biden. All right, well, let me give you the spin of Mark Penn. He's a Democratic strategist, okay? Mark Penn, listening to Karine Jean-Pierre say that the president's policies are extremely popular. Mark Penn, Democratic strategist. What do you think, Mark? True or not true?
$7 trillion budget, unpopular. Immigration, border, for most people, seems to be open, unpopular. Pushing EVs and not giving people a choice, unpopular. He's got some real issues there that he's going to have to, figure out how to present to the American people. Big tax increases. He's going to say it's about corporations and the wealthy. Donald Trump is going to say it's going to hit the average person. Yeah. Let this debate continue. Obviously, it's uphill for President Biden, or he wouldn't be debating in the first place.
100% true. It's uphill for Biden, or he would not be debating in the first place. Now there, Mark Penn just outlined another area of vulnerability for Biden. He's on record saying he's going to let the Trump tax cuts expire. Trump has got to have in front of him the facts and the figures that prove that Joe Biden's saying, the Trump tax cuts are only for the rich. And say, if you make $200,000 a year and you have 3 kids, you're going to pay $7,500 a year more in taxes. Now, $200,000 a year sounds like that person's really, really rich. You're not rich in today's economy if you're making $200,000 a year. You're doing really well. I don't make anywhere close to that. I barely make, well, I'm not going to tell you what I make, but I'm not anywhere close to that, okay? But if you make $85,000 a year and you have no kids, you would be like, single, 85. Let's just take best case scenario. You're out of college, you get a boffo job, you're making 85 grand a year, you got no kids. You're going to pay $1,000 a year more in taxes. What happened to Mr. $400,000 a year? I'm not going to raise any taxes on anybody under $400,000 a year. Oh, I know what happened. It's a lie, because Joe Biden can't open his mouth without lying. Speaking of lies, Joe Biden is the articulator of many, and some of those lies, I'm sure, are planted by his strategists. And you remember Circle Back Psaki, right? Jen Psaki, the precursor to the world's worst press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre. Jen Psaki was a liar. Jen Psaki was good at her job. She was a good liar. She didn't have to read her lies out of a book like Little Miss Intersectionality. Well, Jen Psaki had a big time last week roasting Kristi Noem, the governor of South Carolina, because Kristi Noem was a dope and lied in her book about meeting Kim Jong-un. Here's Jen Psaki celebrating that on The View. Thousand times.
Loud. When you're doing the audiobook, you think, oh, you need a comma there. That weird word is strange. When she said, and I met with Kim Jong-un, did she think to herself, I didn't meet with Kim Jong-un?
Kristi Noem's a dope. And she is a dope. Well, guess what? In her new book, which Jen Psaki narrated, you read it 1,000 times, Jen Psaki wrote, remember Joe Biden checking his watch when the remains of the 13 American service people came back from Kabul? Remember Joe Biden looking at his watch, checking his watch? What time is it? I'm sick and tired of these Gold Star families. Like, come on, let's get them out of here. Psaki said that never happened. In her book, she says that never happened. That it was misinformation, that Biden only looked at his watch after the ceremony ended. That's a lie. That is a flat out lie. And her publisher is going to correct it. She read the book. She narrated it. Will she issue an apology? Will she go on her little MSNBC show and apologize to her 13 viewers that she's sorry for the error, that she insulted Gold Star families and disrespected the remains of brave Americans? No, of course not. Of course she won't.
Caribbean is calling. Dennis Prager here. I invite you to join me on a Bible cruise this November in the Caribbean.
Another good audience online. Appreciate that, everyone. You can shoot me
cruise to the vibrant islands of Half Moon Cay, Curacao,
message during the show on Twitter. I think it'll get to me, but appreciate it. Rick says, many have tried, but asking Trump to moderate and use a measured tone will never happen. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm skeptical too. Look, I'm an outliner of solutions, not a guarantor of results. If he can do that, I mean, they got to practice with him. And every time he gets out of line, they need like a shock collar on Trump. When he starts to get mad, like shock him. Nope, can't do that. Might be a little harsh, but if you want to be president, hey, you got to break some eggs. All right. Hope you guys all have a great day. See you again tomorrow. And looking forward to that. Take care.